So welcome to Bucks New University, to the online MA in Animation for Professionals and to Animation Apprentice. My name's Alex Williams and I'm just going to talk very briefly about the tax implications associated with being a freelance animator. And if you're a BNU student, you're doing any kind of freelance work, working for a client, chances are you're a freelancer and you're going to have to deal with taxes. Now I should say right from the word go that I'm not a tax lawyer or a tax accountant, and I am in no way qualified to give formal tax advice. So if you have any doubt about anything I'm saying today, please go and see a qualified professional to give you a more professional answer. However, what I can do is say that I've been dealing with taxes for the best part of 35 years on my own account, working both in the UK and the USA, and so I can give you a basic introduction to how the system works, because it is a bit confusing when you first start out. Now, both Animation Apprentice and Bucks New University, we do try to do our best to train our animation graduates with practical real-world skills. And you know, it's very confusing dealing with what actually is a freelancer, what is self-employment, what is a payroll employee. All these things are confusing when you first encounter them. So let's ask the question, what is a freelancer? So a freelancer is a self-employed person. It means that you're basically running a small business on your own account. You can work for multiple clients. You're an independent contractor. You have your own equipment. In this case, it's going to be your own laptop, your own internet connection, and you're not an employee, although you can also be an employee. Certainly under UK law and in America, you can be an employee of a company and also work on your own account. So do you need to register as a freelancer? Some people, I've been asked this various times by students. They think you need a special form to fill out. That's not the case. You can just go ahead and start working. The UK government, also in the USA, is for the most part pretty business friendly. And you do not need to register, although you will need to pay your taxes at the end of the year. Now, do you have to pay income tax on your freelance earnings? Question number 3, yes, absolutely, but not immediately, right? The law is actually changing on this, I should say, as of 2025. I believe as of April 2026, there will be an obligation on some UK businesses to report income quarterly if you're earning over a certain threshold. So this is changing, but right at the moment you only pay your tax at the end of the year when you file your tax return, although you may have to pay an interim payment if you've been in the system for a while, which is what I have to do because I've been doing this for a long time. So if you're a freelancer, let's say the client pays you £100, as in the example here, you don't pay income tax on that except at the end of the year. Right, so when you file your tax return, you are going to have to pay tax on that, so you should put some money aside in order to pay that tax. Now, what about VAT? VAT is value-added tax. In the UK, you have to pay, this article is actually out of date. It says once you're earning over 79,000 a year, I think it's more like 87,000 or even 90,000. It goes up every year in line with inflation. And once you cross that threshold, you will have to charge 20% VAT on top of your invoice to your client, and then you've got to hand that over to the taxman. But as long as your business is worth less than that, you don't have to charge VAT and you don't have to register for VAT. Now, what about if you've got a day job? Can you still work evenings and weekends as a freelancer? Absolutely, you absolutely can. I myself do this. I've been doing it for a really long time, and that's absolutely fine. You can have a pay-as-you-go income at Sainsbury's where they will deduct your taxes at source so you don't even see it, and then you can also work on evenings and weekends as a freelancer. That's fine and very much to be encouraged. What about expenses? Can you claim expenses against your income? Yes, you absolutely can. Again, this is done at the end of the tax year, but let's say you need to buy a computer in order to do your freelance work. That's tax deductible expense. A Wacom tablet, stationery, if your internet connection at home, anything which is a legitimate cost of doing business, you can deduct from your profit. So that becomes a business expense, and you only pay tax on the profit. Do you need an accountant to help you figure it all out? I mean, it's if you're good with numbers, you should be able to do all of this stuff yourself. It's not that complicated. I personally always use an accountant. I recommend doing it because they're going to do it better than I would by some distance, and it helps me not make stupid mistakes, which can get you into trouble with the revenue. You don't want to have trouble with the revenue. So you've got to pay what you owe, but do it legitimately. Get professional help if you need it. But as to the question, can you be a freelancer? Is it easy to be a freelancer? Absolutely. All you need to do is find a client, invoice them, get paid, and then you're going to sort it all out at the end of the tax year.